For a live stream. It's been a couple weeks. I've been really busy with this and that family things, but I've also been making time to sketch, and I've been sketching a lot, and especially this guy here, this anteater from Cat Dog, who I absolutely adore. I drew him a couple years ago in his style, and he also is the inspiration for my own character, Gregory, also a green anteater, and so I drew him in a kimono for fun because I really enjoy doing that. And I also drew a friend's character who has a raccoon character as a tanuki. That's my drawing and that's his character. So I'll be working on those two today. We'll see how far I get. Mostly I just want to do some of the line art, and they're simple enough and flat color, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Just be like light stream today, just a little fun, catching up with people. Hope everyone's doing well and having a good weekend. And yeah, let's just get started. Just hope you like what you see. Alright. Ew, excuse me. Alright. So I was working on the line art for this one. I actually did a lot of sketching of this character for practice. It's a very interesting kind of, well, I shouldn't say like in a very interesting way, but he has a body type kind of similar to like somewhat Mobius, Sonic the Hedgehog design ish. Very weird. Like Cat Dog's never really had that much consistency with its various background characters. It's pretty much had whatever for background characters in that show. Like he'd have characters that were like fully dressed, or he'd have an example like him where he's like half dressed, but you have other characters with like pants and shoes, and it just very inconsistent. And it didn't really matter that much because, well, I mean, the show, its art style really wasn't great, but it was cute and fun, and the show itself really wasn't that great, but it had its charm. Yeah, but I don't think it's very high in Nickelodeon's, like the Nickelodeon cartoon tier. I think maybe Cat Dog's maybe mid-tier at best. Thinking like the high tier, you have Avatar and Harold. That's like friggin' high bar. So Cat Dog mid to low, like definitely not low. It's not like a fanboy and chun chun territory. It's not. That's maybe comparable, like maybe like below Rocko's Modern Life and below Ren and Stimpy. I don't know, Ren and Stimpy just seems like such an anomaly. I don't think it really would fit in the Nickelodeon tier exactly. Maybe put it in high tier, depending on your point of view and how much you love that. Yeah. It depends, really. Will also be mid Nickelodeon tier for cartoons. I really don't remember much Nickelodeon because I haven't watched a lot of Nickelodeon. I used to watch it a lot back in the day, but I kind of grew past, well, one Nickelodeon had a really, really bad rough period when they were Green Line complete crap, like Breadwinners and such, and like their early 2010s output was just abysmal. Pretty much SpongeBob, iCarly, and garbage. And even then, the SpongeBob episodes were really bad during that time. And I never got into iCarly. Nothing against the actors and actresses, just like the show just never caught my attention. There's always I don't know. Miranda Cosgrove is a fine enough actress, as is the blonde one. Oh wow, that's so bad. Played, the character's name is Sam, but I can't remember what the actual actress's name is. She went on to go on to star on Sam and Cat with Ariana Grande, and Ariana Grande went on to bigger and better things. Alright, let's see. Oh, welcome, Stardude52. Yes, Jeanette McCurry, that's the name of the actress from iCarly and Sam and Cat. The the blonde one who's she had a very aggressive personality from what I remember. She's kind of very like tomboyish, but also mean. Um, from what I saw, like especially I was like, and I really can't remember what iCarly Brandon Cosgrove's character's personality was. And then Ariana's character was, mm, let's say airy. I think just not Ari, but airy. But yeah, I could never get into Sam and Cat. When it was when I was like, what was it with that weird glut? Like it was a weird combination because Disney Channel had one too, where it was shows where like teenage girls run a babysitting. I think that's what the plot of Sam and Cat was, that they were babysitters. And that's also the same thing for Jessie, where that's her shtick too. That's the show with Shar Jackson, and yeah, I don't know why it's like that. A weird coincidence having like two shows. I think Nickelodeon is Disney has had that too, where they did the like I remember back in the day, they had a thing like that of Cartoon Network where they both had they both had two shows starring Asian preteens with a grandparent mystic person, and they fought supernatural entities. And like Disney's was American Dragon Jake Long, and Cartoon Network's was The Life and Times of Juniper Lee. And I personally like Juniper Lee more than Jake Long. I thought just like the world and the characters in Juniper Lee were a lot more interesting and fun to watch. Not that Jake Long was bad, but Jake Long just seemed a lot more just of its time and trend chasing. Oh, Stardew 52's about Jeanette McCurry saying he thinks she went country like Sam. She was tough as nails, but she had a good heart, genuinely. Oh, okay. That's nice. And Jeanette McCurry does sound like a country singer kind of name. Not stereotyping, just has that ring to it. Stardew 52 says he never got into Juniper Lee. Like, I guess young me just never saw it. I heard it's good. Yeah, it's good. It's also it's kind of one of those shows that is very hard to come by now. Like I don't know if it's really, I don't know if it's where I forgot where I read this, but it didn't have many video releases, and I don't know if it went on in streaming somewhere. Or if it got caught in Lego mumbo jumbo like Class of 3000 did. I really don't remember, but I had a lot of good memories of that show, and hopefully it's not a case where where this does happen, where you remember a show being great and then you watch it and you think, wait a second, what was this all about? Like, what caught me onto this? So we'll see. Like I had a case of that when I was like in one show I adore when it was airing on Cartoon Network way back when. Like I loved this show so much, and I can't quite understand. Well, okay, I just know I really like this show, and the show is it is an anime, so it was brought in from across the sea. I think that was a really weird way to just put it. Okay, yeah, it was an anime, dubbed, of course. And that was SD Gundam Force, which was a Gundam spin-off show where they chipified all the Gundams and made them, their own personalities. And it at best it's super kitschy, and at worst I was never a huge Gundam fan, so I can't really say it ruined Gundam. I'm pretty sure it did, but I don't have that perspective to say that I was affected by its take on Gundam, because I really didn't really watch much Gundam back in the day. But I really liked SD Gundam Force. I thought it was super cute, and I really liked it and the characters. And then I watched it years later, and boy, that show kind of sucks, but yeah. It's one of those cases where a show does not age when you do. Like some shows feel a lot more timeless and they work better. Like you could watch them years later and you're like, I get this. This works for me still. But then some shows don't. Wondering if you guys have any shows like that. Shows that you came back to, as you grown older, and then you find that they just weren't like they don't quite capture that magic, or you realize that they were, there's a lot of faults in them that would you could look past with younger eyes, but then when you got older and more experience, you kind of realize like, ooh, this is not that good. Another show that I think really benefited from my more innocent eyes was Totally Spies, because, all right, the honest truth, when I watched that back in the day, I had no idea about any sort of fetishes, or at least the abundance of fetishes that there are, that I know of now. And so, all the ones that showed up in Totally Spies, because there are a lot. Yes, there are a lot. I paid them no mind. Like I just thought, okay, this is just quirky plot with weird things happening. Like, oh, they eat cookies and they become fat. Okay, whatever. It's like, oh, they turn to animal people. Okay, that's interesting. And then when I got older, then when it was brought to my attention that that's what they were showing, then that show kind of clicked in a weirder way. And that's also a case where like I liked the show a lot more when I was younger, because I was able to look past its faults. Because I was like just a little bit more caught up in the charm of it all, and the action, the fast sequences. And I do actually really like the soundtrack of that show. Man, that show's rough, and oh gosh, the last few seasons are complete garbage. I hated season 5 so much, and I didn't even watch season 6. Season 4 was like really bumping. I was thinking, okay, what's going on? This is odd. This isn't good. Could have been also me growing up too, but I really enjoyed the first 3 seasons. Even when they changed up a lot of the formula in season 3, and they made a lot of weird decisions that didn't make sense. To me, even back then, I was like, oh, their parents just gave them a house to live in while they all 6 of them vacationed in Europe for an unspecified amount of time, which could be only measured in years. And what? And it's just stupid. But it's, just a way to have the girls all in one place, even though they live, each had their own families. So, that's just for convenience and plot's sake and bullcrap. But dang, okay. But there's no excusing the garbage, the garbage that is the 5th season of Totally Spies. Not at all. Oh, Stardew52 says Totally Spies. After I got older, he says about Totally Spies. He says after I got older. No, what was that? After I got older, would up bathed in totally different light. Oh, okay, yeah. Again, when I was younger, it was a fun, action show with, teenage spy girls in the vein of Kim Possible. But Totally Spies did some. They went on some very different adventures than Kim Possible. Certainly with different intentions for the audience. Ooh. Like, what else did they do? Like, what other kind of fetishes did they go in? It's kind of like more subtle, but you could like less so like whole plot references, at least in the early seasons, and just more kind of things. Like I said, I did the inflation one. That's the one that pops into my head the most, kind of readily, just because that was the one where like once I learned that was a thing, then that episode just I'm not gonna watch. The episode itself is stupid, but I can't get over the stupid name of the cookies being passion patties, but whatever. That's not even getting into the personalities of the girls themselves, which are when I was younger, I liked their personalities a lot, but now that I'm older, they're very lacking. So you have Sam, the redhead, who's the smart one, but they kind of blossomed. They kind of I don't know what it is with these girl shows because they did the same thing with Blossom and Powerpuff Girls, but exaggerated that a lot more in the 2016 reboot, where they translate being the smart leader type with being a total control freak bitch. And Sam wasn't quite like that, but she was definitely. It was the being the smart one, but lording it over people, which is really unappealing. And that's what they kind of did with Sam in certain episodes. And um, also the weird running gags. Like each girl had a particular running gag associated with them. Like mostly in like the first few seasons, where like most often these things would happen to each girl. Okay, Sam, being the smart one, she would be the most like most often candidate to get brainwashed by the enemy of the day. Clover would often, she's the pretty vain one. She would usually be the one who gets her body transformed or modified against her will for whatever reason. Like she was the one like in that one episode where they turned to animals. She was like the one that got that was what ended up happening to her. And I think Alex is a bit more vague in that it's just kind of general kidnapping was kind of her. I think what happened to her the most, her being that flag type, which is weird kind of thing to approach. Having their for like these hero characters to be like their. I'll rather get to that in like a scripted thing where I could word that better, but just yeah, that's a show I want to talk about a lot because it's a show that brought me a lot of joy, but it's a heck of a weird show. But dang, there's a lot to talk about, and it does have its good points. Like there are some good moments in that show, like genuinely good action, some neat sequences. Yeah, and just personality like Sam being like the smart one, but kind of luring it over people. Also, it was weird to tell who was the leader because like the merchandising and the positioning of the girls would like just in stills and stuff would make you think Clover's the leader, but in the show itself, definitely Sam was the one who took charge and actually would formulate plans for the other ones to go on with. Like the other two barely did. They barely had a thought of their own when it came to how to actually stop the villain. It was always Sam who got their mess together, from what I remember. Okay, and then Clover's main personality trait is that her only mission in life is to date boys. Like everything in her life she does is just to the end goal of dating boys. Not even to get married, just dating boys. Like she shops all the time to buy clothes to date boys. She takes classes in college to meet boys. She does like just everything in her life revolves around meeting boys, and it's kind of depressing, but all right. And again, Alex is a lot more vague in that she's theoretically the athletic one, but that's only true sometimes. And other times she's just she could be either the really klutzy one, the not so bright one, the charming, like the really sweet one. She's a lot more malleable for plot's sake. While the other two are a bit more, kind of stricter in their archetypes. Hers just are kind of a few. I mean, well, it makes her more, I guess, more defined. Okay, it's weird if it's weird if either it makes those like all those separate traits of her make her more defined or just more wishy-washy. Because it just, I don't know. It's been a while since I really kind of watched the show, so I need to get a good, further analysis into that. But that's just so. But I don't want to watch the 5th season. That was such garbage. And who knows if the 6th season's any better? But dang, yeah. It was just the 5th season was so stupid. Just so much stupid crap. Dumb things and dumb plots and dumb everything. It's like they were actively trying to make the show worse. Oh, Stardew 52 says, I think naive and easier to manipulate works for Alex. That's true. She was, the kind of the much more innocent of the three. And that's especially true when they gave her like that, because she's the only one of the three who got a different voice actress in the third season. Because the third season is like when they did a lot of changes. When they did the stupid that they live together thing, and but they're not stupid. That it's not stupid they live together. It's stupid that the plot excuse was that their parent, like all their parents went to Europe for an unspecified amount of time. Sure. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, she got a new voice actress, and so did Jerry, I think. Everyone else was the same. Like those are like the two like noticeable, like, oh, that's a different person speaking. But they gave her like a voice actress that made her sound a lot. I think she sounds younger than her first voice actress. Like the first voice actress sounded, her portrayal made her sound like teenage, but then the new voice, like she sounds like a 12-year-old. So then maybe I was like they try to go with like the more innocent feel for the character, and she did have like more cutesy things too, where like she was the one who's like still had a stuffed animal friend and such. So. Can't quite remember how we segue into Totally Spies. We're talking to tiers of Nickelodeon shows at one point, because I noticed this. I'm drawing up, doing the line art for a cat dog background character. He never even received a name. He just kind of appeared here and there, like a speaking role. A friend of mine and I were trying to come up with names for him. At first, we were kind of calling him Franz. I forgot how we came up with Franz, but I was never crazy about that name. So then recently I came up with Carl, because actually it's because I was thinking this character's voice actor in the voice actor, I can't remember his last name, but he's been in a lot of things. His last name starts with A, but his first name is Carlos. So that's one way I got the name Carl, and I wanted to. I think the name works for the character. Still not set in stone. That's kind of what I'm doing for now, but yeah. What am I doing here at the slider? Also could be considered mid-tier Nickelodeon. Cartoons, not live action, but I have much less experience with live action shows. Because when I was younger, I actively disliked most of the Nickelodeon live action shows, mostly because they weren't cartoons. That's how I operate back in the days. Like I wanted to watch cartoons, not people. So, and that's still relatively true. Like I watch Cartoon Network cartoons now and not want to watch other things. So, I was gonna sing that Adventure Time song, but I can't remember what it was called. Like how it goes. The one Marceline sings in the Vampire special. Like I love that song. But yeah, somewhat relates to what's happening. What this discussion, I think, kind of. Oh, and Star252 says younger me was a cartoon person altogether. Oh yeah, I totally agree. I so was too. Mid-tier Nickelodeon. What else was mid-tier Nickelodeon? I guess maybe Wild Thornberrys was mid-tier, high to mid-tier. Maybe Rocket Power was just middle, like flat middle, like C, flat C, I think. That could have been maybe D, because it was definitely a show of its time. Told by Ginger, maybe low high tier. Just because of how it wasn't as popular, but it was still a very quality show. That was a show I think it got a bad. It was treated terribly by Nickelodeon, in that it wasn't allowed to have a finale, and then episodes towards the end were just aired completely out of order, and it was just it was really treated unfairly. And the show did get a finale, but it aired in different countries except the U.S. for I don't know why. Then I think you can still find the show. It's a classic Kupo show, so it's not, it's not. We know who made it, so it's still, you know, I think you can still track it down. Oh, Stardew 52 says, oh, this is the "Let's Go in the Garden's" a song from Adventure Time. It's like, let's go in the garden, you'll find something waiting. Like right in the garden, lying upside down. When you flip it over, you'll see how it faded. Everything looks different when you turn it around. I think it's how everything's. I forgot how the song goes, but it's a really pretty song. I really need to hear it more often. There's this kind of idea that, like, even though, like, you see things changing, how's it go? I'm really not giving that enough justice in my very faded recollection summary of it. It was like the theme was, as you like, even if you see things aren't changing, they still change in subtle ways, like subtle, meaningful ways. And that kind of like relates to like how Marceline's arc through that, special when is that she kind of started off not wanting to be a vampire in that special, and then at the end she still was a vampire, but she had new experiences that made her a different vampire than she was at the start of the special. And I could be worded a lot better, but that's fine for now. No, I'm glad you understand Stardew 52. Sometimes I'm trying to draw and talk, or play games and talk, and kind of get a little sidetracked. I adore Marceline. She's definitely my favorite Adventure Time character. She kicks so much ass. Adore her. I adore her. Like, anytime like she shows up in an episode, I'm like, oh, I need to watch this. Yeah, Stakes was the name of that special in Adventure Time, which was season 7 or 8. It was towards the end, like where, yeah, it was so good. Stardew 52 says, it's weird because even though she really stayed the same, she wound up the same thing, completely different. Like, it's like the cartoon status quo, but deconstructed in a way. Oh, I understand what you mean there. Like it was like she stayed a vampire, but she still grew as a person. Even though like that whole arc started with her not wanting to be a vampire. That was a good show. I really enjoyed the series finale for Adventure Time. I thought that was a very good, decent finale to a great show. That's also a song that the "Let's Go in the Garden" song. That's a song I really want to learn how to sing. I always keep forgetting to listen to it. I always get caught up going back to the Steven Universe songs I adore so much. Like I think in my top 10 songs of all time right now, I think I just added in "It's Over, Isn't It" from Steven Universe because I really love that song. Stardew 52 says I could sing "Everything Stays," but I forget the first part really easily. Also, I love "It's Over, Isn't It?" Oh yeah. "Everything Stays" is the song for Adventure Time. I'm having trouble remembering the name earlier. I really think, actually, like, thinking about it, "Everything Stays" is a very uplifting song, and for the theme it has, I mean, I think it really, really works. I don't know if those are great. I think they're fine for now. Alright, now let's get some color on this. Also, I'm giving this character an expression that's very uncharacteristic of himself from Cat Dog. He does not look this confident and smug ever, from what I remember. He doesn't appear often, but when he has appeared, he's been pretty nervous, anxious, terrified. There's actually very common, emotional states to have in Cat Dog. Also for Nickelodeon tiers, but I was thinking about where to put SpongeBob. SpongeBob, high tier for status, but low high tier for overall quality. But then in overall quality, you could really kind of bump it down some more because they're like season 5 through 8 are very rough. Because that was like a period where Nickelodeon was like forcing them to like churn out episodes, and but it got better. From what I heard, it got a lot better in season 9. Um, so. Star252 says, "Oh, you think you remember this character? He looks familiar." Yeah. Oh, he's also asking me how I feel about the song "Familiar." I really from Steven Universe. It appeared in the Diamond Days arc. I do like that song a lot. That's a good song, "Familiar." I was actually thinking about it earlier today. Really coincidence. I was thinking about that song. Like it's a really good. That's a really good one. That's what I'm. That's probably maybe my top 5 Steven Universe songs. "Familiar." Like a big highlight of that song, or at least what I think really helps that song is the backing vocals by the Pebbles. That is a really good addition. Whoops, did not want to invert that. Familiar is another song I don't remember the words to too much, but I do remember the melody. Okay, got that for shading purposes. Oh, missed that. Got that for shading purposes, and I grabbed some colors that I was gonna play around with for this. I think the purple's a nice contrast for his green fur. Sharfu2 says Zach Callison, who voices Steven Universe, he says Star252 says Zach Callison threw him for a loop because his voice was so different than Steven's. Oh yeah, you mean his singing voice? Yeah, it's the way he's sang just did sound quite a bit different than like how he usually. Well, he has a very good singing voice, and a lot of times like kind of his songs are a bit more like on the cutesy, here and there side. For just kind of having like when he like this was the kind of one of the. I don't think Steven has that many solos in the show, but this was a really good one. And Star252 saying, he's saying yeah, he's saying yeah, I love the Pebbles. A couple people said they reminded them of the Vocaloid Luca. Which one was Luca again? Because I'm not too familiar with the Vocaloids. I just know Miku Hot Snakes. That's the one everyone knows, and the Twins. Those are the ones I'm most familiar with. Star252 saying he forgot that Zach is so much older than he sounds. Oh yeah, he sounds really young in that when he plays Steven. Oh, he's talking about the Vocaloid. It says Luca's she has long pink hair. She came after the twins. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. There's like the pink one. Well, there are a lot of Vocaloids because they've made a lot of them. There's also I think there are also 2 boys, one with long purple hair and one with short blue hair. I have no idea what their names are, but I remember those being around. Oh, it's pure white for the teeth. Okay. Whoop. Not for the fur. Because it's oh, there are a lot more Vocaloids, and he's saying the ones I'm saying, like the long-haired purple ones, Gakupo, and the short blue-haired ones, Kato. Okay. I was listening to quite a bit of Vocaloid music a while ago. I was on a kick of their stuff. A lot in December. Um, Listening to ones I like, mostly like the meets, like the Hatsune Miku ones. Those are the ones I tend to like more. Um, yeah, pretty hit or miss for me. Because they're usually fine, but a lot of times they're just kind of, well, not, I shouldn't generalize with them, but I like their stuff, but there are times where I'm listening to a Vocaloid song and I'll like it, but I'll kind of be thinking to myself, I kind of want to know how this would sound like if a person was singing it. I know that's really mean, and technically it is a person because it's a voice bank of like an actual human person that they recorded bits and pieces from for these characters. But it does kind of like that really strong kind of electronic sound to the voices that does make like heavily auto tune where it does feel a bit unnatural. But certainly like the Vocaloid songs provide a lot of a huge playground for producers who can just make whatever song they want, and then these are the voices they can use to their leisure. Okay then, I like that color so far. Also need a shade later. Gonna add some of the details in. Alright, Study 52 says, I totally get what you mean. Um, a lot of them have human singer covers. Oh, really? Okay. But it really depends on the producer. Yeah. Like, I mean, there are some Vocaloid songs that sound really good, and you couldn't tell right away if it was a Vocaloid or just a autotune person. Like, some of them really work, but then there are some that just, like, the production just, it's way too overdone and phony sounding for the voice part. Like there's this one. It's sung by the girl twin. I shouldn't pick on this song because it's a cute song, but it's a little too cute, and and the name certainly gives the game away. And it's the song's called I think the song's called Sweet Magic, and it definitely sounds like that. Not not in a bad way. Just it just it's it's really cutesy, but it's also really overdone the production. Star22 says, I get you, Genji. Quick question. Do you sketch on paper first, then digitally ink? Yes. I still have not gotten used to starting off a sketch on the computer. So I've been, for years, I still sketch on paper and then scan it in and then do digital ink after that on the scanned pencil sketch. That's how I've done it for years, and I'm still pretty happy with the results, so yeah. But still, I do need to get better used to kind of the tablet for sketching and starting an image from scratch digitally. Star52 says, I completely understand. It took me a while to get used to digital. Yeah, digital's tricky, and tablets, because with most tablets, you're writing on a tablet and you're looking not where your pen is going, for at least for like unless you get like the really crazy high end ones, that's the case. Star252 says, "Yeah, you have quality work." Oh, that's sweet of you. Thank you. I really tried. I mean, I did keep practicing. I mean, sometimes there are dry spells. Right now, I've been on a roll for sketching and doing art for other people, and I'm just really trying to keep busy and keep my mind on work and stuff, and not get so distracted by some other things. Um, and also, I feel a lot more at peace when I'm working on creative works than well, I shouldn't say than anything. I mean, I just feel a lot like I really enjoy creative work, and it just brings me a lot of peace to just kind of be working on something and enjoying that process. Oop, I'm on the eraser. Been playing a bit of OpenRA recently too. Played that game a lot last spring and a bit early summer, but I kind of dropped it. Mostly because I got into Breath of the Wild. I think that's when the switch occurred. And there was an update recently for OpenRA, the Command Conquer mod, fan made mod for Command Conquer 1 and Command Conquer Red Alert 1, and Dune something or other, but I'm not, Command Conquer was where it was out for me back in the day, especially Red Alert 1. Love that game. And so, yeah, fan made mod, I love it so much. You can see my videos on my YouTube channel from like the live streams I made. I mean, I'm not good at it, and I never was good at it. I mean, RTS is like, I like them for the creative aspects more than the actual, real-time strategy part, because I cannot get a hang of it. But also, like, at least with OpenRA, the RA and the skirmishes can be very aggressive to the point of actively cheating, I think. So, I mean, I've had scenes, and I think you've seen my live streams, where they'll just, like, spontaneously have buildings. And I'm like, you did not have the means to make those. I destroyed your construction yard. You cannot have suddenly these things in the fog work. No. Okay. And, okay. Yeah, I did an update, and I did not know this would happen, but the update erased the maps I had made, because for the update I had to reinstall the game. At least that's what I'm pretty sure I had to do, and that's what I ended up doing. But that erased the maps I had made in the previous version I had, which bummed me out because I loved those maps. Two in particular, like some of them were mostly just me testing things, but one map I made called Ratchet, and I did a live stream on that map. And thank goodness I had that live stream, because I could pretty much recreate the map from that, like looking at that stream, because I'm playing through that map, and I do like an aerial kind of review of the map too before I start the match. So I can look at that and try my best to recreate that map. But ooh, and there's some bits of the map too that could be, fixed up a bit here and there for balancing. And then I was hoping that would be the first map I kind of get post onto the OpenRA forum for other people to download once I figure out how to post on there and such. But yeah, I'm getting into it, and one thing I wanted to do last year too that I just kind of let fall by the wayside was making the custom missions, which is actually very hard to do. very complicated process, and because you have to code some stuff, and it's and they have a forum and the guide to do it, but it's like the OpenRA community made one, but it's not an easy read, and it's not kind of written, at least from what I see, it's not laid out in a sequential way, like this is where you should start. At least I haven't found the sequence that they recommend. So it's kind of links, kind of describing, like it's paragraphs with hyperlinks describing what you can do and what these things do, but it doesn't really give you an order in which you need to do them. So I'm trying to make, and that's why I kind of stopped last year, and that in that process was I couldn't make heads or tails of those instructions, and well, I don't have much coding experience, to be honest, but I do need some need to get to that, and it's been like a fantasy of mine since back when I was younger was to make levels in Command and Conquer Red Alert, and these this fan-made mod has the means to do that with just a lot of work and some research and a whole lot of testing, and it could happen. It's just gonna take a while still. And I remember on YouTube, like someone when I did a live stream tutorial for the basic parts of the map editor. It's like just making a map you can play skirmishes in. And one of the commenters was like, "Oh yeah, you should make a tutorial on how to make missions." And I'll be like, "I'd love to. I just need to." I spammed it in the comments. I was like, "I'd love to make a tutorial for that. I just need to learn how to do that first," and I still haven't. And it's been perpetually on my to-do list for getting into a year now. But here's for hoping I can get to it. It's just like I said, it's going to be a lot of reading into how to code in Lua, and just seeing how that guide works. And there's not a lot of resources on YouTube specifically for that. I'm looking to see if since I was looking up last year what they had, if they've made any more. But it's hard because like OpenRA is not it's known, but it's not like a huge game compared to some other online ones. Like that's kind of more like a dedicated community. I've just sort of been dabbling in it, mostly for nostalgia. And I mean, like I said, I'm not really great at RTSs. I just really like building, and this game holds so much nostalgia for me. And I'm still too terrified to play with against actual people. I mean, even against the AI, which can be horribly brutal. I mean, I'm a mess sometimes, and ugh. And I still wish that at some point they'd have it so you can play skirmishes and be able to set the difficulty of the AI, because otherwise it's very inconsistent. Sometimes you'll get an AI that's easy, and other times you'll get an AI that is just like that will cheat to win or just cheat to stay on the map, and those matches are miserable. I mean, like, it has an AI for difficulty with the campaign missions. So I was nice for one for the skirmishes, but I guess they haven't been able to code that yet. But they have been able to code types of AI, like you can play against a rush AI or normal AI. They also have a naval preference and turtle defense preferences. Which, depending on the map, turtle and naval can be the same. Like, they'll behave the same. Like, if you put a naval AI on a map that doesn't have, like a easy access to water or no water for producing naval units, then they'll just, like, cloister themselves with, like, a ton of defenses. And it's just a huge pain in the bum to penetrate those. They're just like a brick of just all these structures together, and it's a nightmare to try to get your way into those. And they will compensate for just using arrow units instead, which can make the game really annoying. And that you're just like trying to build up your uses, and they just you're trying to build up your forces, and they just send planes and helicopters after you to shred those after you make them. Ugh. I just want a fun little casual match where I can have fun exploring the map and building my base. That's so hard. I don't think it's asking too much. I sound really whiny for saying that, but I just like I said, I just love the building aspect of the Command Conquer Red Alert 1, and I do need to play the Command Conquer 1 Tiberian Dawn in Open RA, which I haven't gotten to yet, but I really I should. It's gonna be fun. Like, it's the same engine. I mean, like how Red Alert, yeah, Command Conquer Red Alert 1 Star was. It was just going to be an expansion pack for Tiberian Dawn, but then they decided to make it its own game, and I mean, it holds up. I mean, it's definitely a case of okay. A good comparison for me, because it works in my brain, for Tiberian Dawn and Red Alert 1 is that Tiberian Dawn is Lady Gaga's debut album, The Fame, and Red Alert 1 is the EP, but function as a standalone album itself, The Fame Monster. And they kind of wanted to package them together, and they did. You know, they did have like the re-release of The Fame, where The Fame Monster was there too. But you could definitely get The Fame on its own, and it holds up its own piece of work, and in quite a few respects, it's actually better than the Fame album. Like the Fame Monster album, in some respects, is better than the Fame album. So yeah, that's how, and that's true for Red Alert 1, because Red Alert 1 and 2, like Red Alert, yeah, not Red Alert 1 2, but Red Alert adds a lot that Tiberian Dawn didn't have. Though Red Alert 1 does still have its problems with balancing, and they tried to address that in the Open RA mod, where they really even things out a bit more and kind of made you have more requirements for certain units and price changes, and they really tried to modernize that game. And I think they did a crackerjack job. If I'm using that word, like that idiom correctly. I mean, Ed Double D from Ed and Eddie said, that made it a positive thing, so like that's very good. It's crackerjack, so yeah, I can be folksy when I want to. Eyes are not big, so I'm gonna go with this. I don't think his character's ever showed up without without this outfit on, so I don't know what his details under his coat. I'm kind of going like Sonic logic, where like there's nothing there, so And again, Cat Dog never had real great consistency of his character design, so that's fine. I just need to add more details for the common and the shading. Alright, so that's good for now. Let's get some work on this one, which is for a friend of mine. Like this one's absolutely for me. Like I want to draw this, and yay. So yeah, this is for a friend of mine who's been nice, really nice to me. Drew a couple things for me. So this is one of the things I've been working on for him. And he has such an adorable character, little Tanuki guy, and I just want to draw something really cutesy. So here we go. Let me kind of just get this stave. Oh boy, I did not make that work great, and its initial. Oh, Stardew 52, you like this guy? Oh yes, his name is Tanny Tanuk. Belongs to an artist friend of mine. He's really good at drawing round, curvy characters. Here's his reference sheet for this character I'm drawing. So I tried to recreate that kind of style for this sketch. Ooh, I want the eraser. Yeah, it's been working on like a little style exercise. I mean, kind of like expand, like drawing some stuff out of my typical style. Because I've been watching a lot of other friends of mine kind of do these style experiments, like my really good artist friend Syndrome. Well, also just really good friend because he's just a fantastic person. He does that a lot too, and he does some amazing fan artwork when he tries to adapt different styles. He's also really good at meshing together his style with the art style he's referencing, and those are some really cool pieces as well. Oh, thank you, Stardew52. That's really sweet of you. Yeah, I'm really just trying to keep in practice with these pictures and such, and do need to get to some other gaming stuff too. Like I really need some gaming live streams. Thinking about getting that eventually getting that new game that came out by From Studio, the that samurai one. I forgot the name. Sex not SEK something. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. A friend of mine told me it's really good, so I'm curious. I haven't played any of the Dark Souls games. I'd like to. I'll turn the fan on real quick. Getting a bit warm up here. Oh, who are you gonna check out? Star 52? Syndrome? Depending on where you find him, he's Ratty Guys and Monsters on Instagram. He posts a lot of art there. And he's the Cruel Seasons on DA and FA. This is this artist is Everything Under Wraps on FA. That's the artist who owns this character, Tanny Tanuk. Which I really think's a cute name. Tanny Tanuk. Ooh, that's a cutesy name. Cutesy name for such a cutesy, round character. Such a soft spot for round, adorable characters. Ooh. quick. How am I gonna get this to look? Okay. I gave this guy a lantern just cause. I think it's a cute accessory for Tanuki. He's also holding the sake bottle just because that's another cute one to have. And I was looking at some references. I think, should I have this staff go in front of him? No, I want to go behind him. So I can see all his big, cute roundness. have a lot to go in the line art. I did have a late start, so let me see if I can go a bit further in the stream. Alright. See here, getting it close. Yeah. Well, that still doesn't look great. Oh wait, do they have it more pointed? Not really. Okay, let me go back. Alright. I want to make that opening in the ear a bit longer, wider. feeling a bit stiff. Ooh, don't know how I got that. Oh, I clicked something off, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Oh, opacity, that's what I did. There we go. Oh. I'm feeling a bit beat. Oh, okay, I know what that is. Well, wait, what am I doing here? Oh, I did that wrong. Okay, hang on. Alright. Oops. Alright. Wait. Oh, my back. Okay. Let me do his tail. I forget tails real easy sometimes. Like this initially when I sketched this guy, I forgot his tail, so I was like, ooh, I need to do that, so I had to rescan him, scan in the image. Alright. Oh, Star 52 says, also I noticed you have a thing for traditional Japanese garb. Do you own a yukata? Yes, I do. I own two. I own a green one that I got in Japan, and I have a blue one that I got last year at an anime convention. And I also have a black Haori jacket and I wish I had more opportunities to wear those, but I love collecting those sort of things. Well, I mean, I have a tiny collection right now, but I love those collecting Japanese garb when I can find them here and there. Well, I technically do have another one. I have a kendo uniform. I did take kendo for a while. Haven't done it in a long time though, but yeah, I do have that. Like the just basic blue one, blue hakama to go along with it. So yeah. Yeah, but just yukata I own two right now. I want to see if I could which are the ones I could find in colors. It'd be really nifty to get a purple one because purple's my second favorite color, right after green. Then blue is probably my third favorite color. I like cool colors a lot. Wonderful, says Stardew 52. Yeah. Oh, Starfood 2 loves purple too. Yes. One reason I love purple, I don't know, but one of the reasons I love purple so much is that back when I was younger, some of my favorite Pokemon were purple. Like, I always loved Jesse and James, and, they're Weezing and Arbok are both purple, and I just kind of that's one reason, that's one thing that helped me start a love for the color. And Weezing's still my favorite Pokemon to this day. Doing something, the wrong tool. There we go. get the lines in there. Starfish 2 says, ooh, okay. Says, I can't really pinpoint my love for purple down. Other than that, I just like purple stuff. That's fair. A lot of our interests sometimes don't have very like logical, like you could pinpoint this as the genesis of it. Like, I mean, that's sure for it's true for a lot of things that people enjoy. Like you just like it, and it just happens. Ugh. Getting really close to wanting to stop. The stream's been going on for over an hour, I think. Kind of like your username. Yeah, Star Dude. I like your username. Has a nice flow to it. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it for tonight because I'm really feeling it. Ugh, a lot going on today, kind of. Um, but yeah, I think it's a good place to stop for tonight. Oh yeah, periwinkle's a nice color. I like periwinkle a lot too. Nice little light shade of purple there. Um, yeah, I just really want to thank everyone for watching live or later on Twitch or YouTube. Had a really great time working on these little kimono designs for these cute critters. Oh, thank you, Star52. He's telling me to rest easy. And yeah, hope you guys subscribe on Twitch, Gaming Genji on Twitch, and Gaming Genji on YouTube, and at Gaming Genji on Twitter and the Facebook. Tumblr as well, yeah, which I still post to sometimes. And Super Genji on FA for more art and stuff. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.